Hey everyone, this is Jordan from sleeklens.com. In this video, we're going to review the AKASO Brave 7 action cam. We've reviewed a number of AKASO products, and this one is the next in line as far as what's available now and the upgrades that you're seeing in other action cams on the market. So let's go ahead and first talk about the physical differences of it. So first of all, this one is completely waterproof without any case. The other cameras reviewed are waterproof with the traditional clear housing. This one is waterproof without, so that makes a really, really good deal with this camera. The other thing which I do love about this camera is if I pop it out of the skeleton case, just like this, it actually has a skeleton case. The other cameras did not have a skeleton case included, and a skeleton case is one with just open back and front. This one, since it is completely waterproof, it does not need a case, so they include a skeleton case, which is really good if you're planning on recording yourself walking around like a vlogger would, and you want to use the mic. If you were doing it in a case, the mic is pretty much useless. You would not be able to use that. So the other main difference of this particular Brave 7 camera is the inclusion of the front screen. So now you have a back screen, which is the one that everybody's used to. It's a touch screen on the back, and it has the front screen as well. So you could be recording something like you normally would here, recording something that's happening in front of you, and then you can turn it around and record yourself and actually see yourself in that front screen. So that makes it a really, really good addition to this camera. So with those two physical changes in this camera, that actually makes it a very good camera. So it also comes with a remote. All of the AKASOs that I've recorded a review for have an additional remote that you can carry around. You can strap it to a belt, you can strap it to a jacket, and you can record, press the record button on here and start recording, especially if it's mounted to your head or something like that. You don't have to fumble with the button. You can click record, it'll start recording. You can also switch between photo and video modes. That will also act as a shutter button. You can press the shutter button so you can take pictures without even being near the camera. And it has a little LCD screen on here as well, so that makes it really good for seeing if it's recording, how long you've been recording, how many photos you've taken. Very good addition. I like this remote a lot better than the other ones where it was mainly like a watch that you wear. This one is a separate piece. Really, really, really like this. So now let's talk about the video recording modes. So the AKASO records in 4K up to 30 frames a second, and that is a very good addition to some of the recording modes. They've all recorded about 4K, but you have 30 frames per second. You also have 2.7K at 30 frames per second, 1080p up to 60 frames per second, and 720p, even though you probably won't ever use that, at 120 frames a second. So if you want to get really good slow-mo, but sacrifice a little bit of video quality and resolution, you can do that as well. It also records photos, standard photos, which is JPEG and DNG. You can take 20 megapixel photos all the way down to 5 megapixel. I guess it depends on the burst. If you want to take multiple photo bursts, it's going to handle the lower megapixel images better than the higher 20 megapixel images better. So a little bit of less buffer. So the AKASO also has image stabilization built in, much like the other action cams out there that are coming out on the market, especially the GoPro brand. It has image stabilization built in, and it's actually fairly decent. I noticed that with the other AKASO brand that we recorded, that one had a little bit of issue with stabilization. It wasn't really that stable, and you had to apply a major amount of stabilization in post, but this one actually handles it pretty well. So that's good to see, especially when you're doing something very intensive. If you're running, you're holding the camera out of the car or something like that. If it's minimal stabilization that's needed in camera, it doesn't really do that well, but if you're doing something majorly bumpy and strenuous on the camera, it'll do a lot better in those situations. One last feature that I want to touch on is the voice control. You can actually operate it with a voice control, so if you did not want to use a remote, you can handle most of the recording and picture taking process with your actual voice, and that's just a way of setting it up in camera. I tested it out. It works about 70% of the time. Sometimes it didn't get it right, but it's a very cool feature to add on if you're going to be closer to the camera. Maybe you're doing like a time lapse or something, and you really don't want to touch the camera. You can, and also if you don't have the remote with you, you can have that set up and just say stop recording, and it'll stop recording without you having to touch the camera. So a cool feature. Now with the accessories of the AKASO, much like all the AKASO brand of cameras that they give you way more accessories than you actually need. And they also give you 2 batteries as well, which is actually really great. Other brands don't really give you that much. You have to pay for the extra batteries. This one, they give you 2 batteries. So what's included in this package that you get from AKASO is the actual AKASO camera, the frame, which is called the skeleton case mostly. It's the camera frame, that's what they call it. You get a remote battery charger, 2 batteries. You get different kind of head mounts, different helmet mounts, lens cloth, handlebar mount, strap. You have a tie strap, some adhesives to stick onto various things. Again, you can attach it to a helmet as well, or a frame of some sort, and then also the starter guide. So that's a lot of things that are included in this this tiny little box, which I always appreciate. I hate having to go out and buy accessories if you know, if you're gonna you're gonna use it for a bike. You not only have to buy the camera, but you have to buy a bike mount as well. This one comes with it, so that's actually pretty cool. All right, so to test this camera out, I actually did a kind of mini montage just using the camera. I'm going to show you the unedited, it's about a 30-second video, an unedited, completely out of camera, no changes whatsoever to the camera and the recording. So this is plain right out of camera, no editing, and you can see how it works up in these situations. And then I'll kind of do another version where you help out the footage a little bit and do some color grading and stuff like that, so you can see the potential of what you can do with this camera. So here is the quick unedited test version of the footage. Okay, so that's what you can do just straight out of camera. Now here is the edited version with a little bit of color grading, so you can see what can be done with the footage. So there you go. That's just a quick sample of what you can produce with this tiny little action cam. You can do a lot of cool things with it. So if you want to check out more information and possibly order your camera, links in the description down below. That'll take you to Amazon and you can buy it from there. Or you can go to the AKASO website, which is also linked down below, and check out more information there. So thank you for joining me in this video. This has been Jordan from Sleek Lens, and I'll see you in the next one.